Today, on Starfield Essentials, I review a paid creation that surprised me with its innovation. This is Modular Explosive Delivery System by Anvil Creations, available for 500 credits on Creations. I'll give an overview of the mod, warnings, and my conclusion. My name is Richard. Let's get started. Overview. Modular Explosive Delivery System, or MEDS, is an impressive addition to Starfield by some of my favorite modders. I'll provide a brief overview before showing this creation in action. MEDS adds 3 new combat options. The first is the ability to remotely detonate static ordnance via a new weapon called a MEDS detonator. The second is an autonomous flying weapon called a MEDS hunter drone. The third is a remotely piloted flying weapon called a MEDS remote drone. All 3 of these systems make use of the following new ordnance. The first is an explosive payload. The second is a high-yield payload. It's like the explosive, but it does more damage and costs more to procure. The third is a toxic gas payload. It damages humans and creatures. The fourth is a stun gas payload. It also disperses gas, but it stuns rather than damages. How do you get this stuff? It seems that you have to buy the MEDS detonator from a vendor. I don't think you can craft one. I bought mine from Dennis Alvarin in the UC Exchange on Cydonia. This device will be listed in a vendor's weapons category. You can buy MEDS payloads and drones from vendors. You can also craft MEDS payloads and both types of drones at an industrial workbench. You'll need the Demolition 1 skill to craft your own munitions. The components needed for all of the various items include Comm relay, zero wire, polymer, aluminum, large primer, solvent, hypercatalyst, argon, chlorine, and toxin. Got all that? Let's see some live examples of this creation in action. First, let's look at using the MEDS detonator with a few static payloads. To test this approach, I equipped the static payloads via the Throwables menu. I threw a few MEDS payloads against these crates on Cydonia. They're now static weapons, waiting to be activated using the handheld MEDS controller. This is different from how Starfield handles mines, which detonate on their own, based on proximity to an adversary. For this test, I used the NPC spawner Danger Zone mod to place Crimson Fleet enemies near the static payloads. I then activated the MEDS detonator. Oh my god, that was so satisfying! Look at those guys just getting blown into the atmosphere. Oh, that was just great. That was just outstanding. Let's try the stun gas variant. See how that works. Spawn our NPCs.
Light them up! Missing.
Gotta detonate. Here we go. Detonate, detonate. And you see this blue gas appears, and they continue fighting for a minute. But then they're going down. Check out the blue lines. Once detonated, the payloads disappear. The after effects of the gas payloads linger for a little while, and can affect a player and their party. You can collect undetonated ordnance for future deployment, using the MEDS detonator. I haven't decided how I would best use this weapon in combat. I think it could be helpful to deploy some of these devices for outpost defense. They might be an alternative to using mines, for example. Let me know in the comments if you use these static payloads. Now let's look at the autonomous flying vehicle called a MEDS hunter drone. These devices will be named by the sort of payload they carry: explosive, high yield, toxic gas, and stun gas, and they all have the hunter designation. You deploy them using the grenade mechanic, and they are designed to hunt down enemies and detonate on their own. Here we have an example of me fighting at one of the Cryomancer locations. I just threw a hunter drone at that cryobot and it took it out. Here's another cryobot. It's one of those dog types. I just threw... Look at that, that's awesome. I just threw a hunter at it and took it down. Sometimes you can't one-shot these things. Sometimes the enemies are fairly robust. I see there's got to be a guy out there. Oh no! Oh! Just got attacked. I'm trying to do this combat all with just the hunters. So that cryobot was not taken down by that one drone. So I see there's another one there. Time to throw out a few more drones. I'm getting chased. Oh, here's another issue. If you throw one of your drones and the enemy shoots it and takes it down while you're nearby, it can cause a lot of damage. So you gotta watch out for that. Again, I'm trapped here. I'm trying to find some cover. I think that cryobot's gonna find me and chase me down. So I'm gonna send a drone out. That's what's cool about this too, right? You're in this little narrow area. Send a drone out. Just took something down. You can deploy many of these autonomous drones simultaneously, and they will stay active on their own. If they don't find a target, they will follow you. You can reclaim them and add them back to your inventory. Finally, let's look at the remotely piloted flying weapon called a Meds remote drone. These are potentially the most fun for players. You can realistically only fly one of these at a time, although I did not try deploying more than one. As soon as you throw it, your screen switches to a drone's eye view. Your movement inputs now control the drone. I have a couple examples here ready to go. Check this out. Flying down. Goodbye. Oh! And one note, I did accelerate the blackness there. It usually takes a second or two to transition from different modes. So you saw the first drone go in there and take out a target. That is one thing. You can't really see what happens because it's taking place right there, and then you're back in the character view. But here I've launched a second drone. I'm coming in on these guys. This is another high explosive. Oh, and I think they might have shot the drone down, and that's why the drone exploded before you could see it really in the face of the targets. I chose to use the remotely piloted drones here because I couldn't get the autonomous drones to attack those guys down there. There's a ton of those autonomous drones just loitering above, and that's why the bad guys are shooting up at them. But here I can use my remotely piloted drones. See, there's the loitering autonomous drones. They're just serving as target practice for the pirates at on ground level. And here I am coming in, doing a little spinorama Anakin move. Oh, and I think I got shot again, which is why the drone detonated too early. One of the most fun experiences using this creation was using my own hunter drones to take down cryomancer drones, or at least damage them. Here I used one hunter drone against that cryomancer and got some damage on it. I'm going to have to kneel down here, hide behind this cover, throw another drone at him. There we go. Oh, we just hit him with another one. Is it down? Yeah, it's down. So drone v drone warfare is something that you can do now if you're using something like Cryomancer, which, oh, we got the Cryo Brute. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take him down with the drone, but drone v drone warfare is something you can do now thanks to the, oh, check it out. The Cryo Brute just got hit by a toxic gas drone, which I had loitering behind me, and that's a good one to use against a creature as opposed to a drone. Next, warnings. Meds has worked very well for me in my limited testing. I waited for the first update before buying and installing it, so I may have avoided some issues that affected early adopters. Here's a few considerations for using this mod. First, when you throw a drone, it will be quite close. If you're in combat, an enemy could destroy the drone right in front of you. That will detonate its payload. I took a lot of damage this way before I learned better tactics. Throw your drone while out of the line of fire to avoid this problem. Second, sometimes the hunter drones do not want to engage the enemy. I could be fairly close to an adversary, but the drone will not engage. It's pretty funny to throw a drone and then see it turn around and shoot off in the opposite direction. Only after the battle ends and I enter a new cell do I find all these cowardly drones. I can add them back to my inventory for use in another engagement. Third, and this is a minor point, I don't understand the need for both explosive and high-yield drones. They deliver the same type of impact, just to varying degrees. If you have the resources, it would make sense to only use the high-yield versions. Speaking of impact, my last warning involves the damage these drones can deliver. Against high-level enemies, even the most hard-hitting ordnance will not one-shot the adversary. I imagine this could be tweaked with gameplay settings and mods. Just keep in mind that even if your drone detonates right next to the target, that might brush it off and keep fighting. I found that the stun gas hunters were especially useful for my style of play. I often like to use EM weapons to disable targets. I utilize the non-lethal framework and useful brick mods by Korodic, one of the authors of Meds, to take targets prisoner. The stun gas drones do tend to one-shot enemies, leaving you free to restrain them. Conclusion. I think Meds is a really fun creation. It adds a radically new mechanic to Starfield, but one that is completely compatible with the theme and lore of the game. Being able to deploy both autonomous and remotely piloted drones is amazing in my opinion. Note that there is also a photo mode available from the remotely piloted drone. Didn't test that extensively. I think this creation is worth 500 credits, and I expect the modders to continue to update it should any issues be discovered. Thank you Anvil Creations for your work. And thank you to all my subscribers. Please consider subscribing to show YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content. Special thanks to all channel members. I hope you're enjoying our private Discord server. If you'd like to know more about membership, click the join button on the channel. There's no obligation. I use your contributions to pay for drives for capturing footage, and to buy creations, like Meds, to review. What have you been doing in Starfield? Your insights make this channel a place for a positive and honest discussion of the game. In addition to videos, I also post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis. If you subscribe, you'll see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the word drone. Also, remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Check out my other videos and please tell your friends about the channel. My name is Richard. I will see you in the Starfield.